Are you thinking about getting your real estate license in the state of Nevada? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through a complete step-by-step guide on how to get licensed and start your real estate career. My name is Chris. I've been a full-time licensed real estate agent for the past 10 years. I'm also a team leader and real estate coach. I've been able to help hundreds of people get started with their career and get their license. Before we dive into the video, make sure to get our real estate license starter kit. Everything in this video plus a lot more is inside that guide, so click the link down below and grab your copy of it today. Also, make sure to check down in the description below. I have a link to my favorite real estate school, and the reason I like this school so much is that they have a pass or don't pay guarantee. And what this means is they stand behind their work and they really believe that they can help you pass the exam and get your license. So if you want to check them out, there is an affiliate link down below where you'll be able to get different sales and discounts on their classes. Okay, so let's dive into the step-by-step guide. So the very first thing you have to do is meet some of the basic requirements. In the state of Nevada, you have to be at least 18 years old or older, you must have a high school diploma or a GED, and you must be a US citizen or a US resident. Also, you're going to have to be able to pass a background check. So if there's something on your record that you think might be questionable, make sure to have the conversation with the real estate commission and see if it's something that's going to prevent you from getting your license. The next step is completing your real estate pre-license education classes. Now in the state of Nevada, you're required to complete 120 hours of state-approved pre-license education. And yes, I know 120 hours sounds like a ton of time to invest. And it truly is. 120 hours is a lot. But the good news is you can do these classes in person or online. I actually suggest the online option because you get all the benefits of having instructors and support and all the things that you would want, but it's much more convenient and you can do it at your own pace and you don't have to drive back and forth to the school. Especially if you have other stuff going on in your life, like a busy schedule or another job, I highly suggest you check out online classes. During these classes, you're going to learn a lot of great things. You're going to learn real estate law, real estate contracts, real estate ethics, real estate math. And these are all things that you're going to take into your new career as a real estate agent, and you're going to use these things in the field as you do your day-to-day business. Also, you're going to need to pay attention because passing the real estate exam can be a little bit challenging, and you're going to need to really focus and learn all these concepts in order to ace the exam the first time you take it. And that takes us to step number 3, and that is scheduling and passing your real estate exam. In the state of Nevada, the exams are administered through Pearson VUE, and you can go on their website or give them a call to schedule. Just make sure to give them at least 24 hours notice in advance. Now, when you get to the testing center on test day, you want to bring a couple basic things. The first thing is a basic non-scientific calculator for the math portion of the exam, and you also want to bring 2 forms of identification. One could be a US passport, a driver's license, a debit card, a credit card. All these things could work. Just make sure that you bring 2. Now you're probably wondering, like, once you step into the testing center and you get through all that, what to expect? Well, the good news is the exam is multiple choice, and you're gonna be met with a bunch of multiple choice questions and then also a math section, and the exam itself is broken into 2 separate parts. So if you fail one and pass the other, you just have to come back and retake the part that you failed. However, just know that these multiple choice questions can be written in a way that's a little bit tricky. So make sure you read them multiple times before you finally submit your final answer, because they are written in a way that could confuse you and make you answer wrong when you really knew the right answer. That's one important note and one important takeaway that can save you from failing the exam. Also, make sure that you don't rush through it, because you have plenty of time. In fact, you have a couple hours to get through this, and the exam isn't that many questions. So you're gonna have plenty of time. Once you complete the exam, you're gonna know if you passed or failed right away. And a passing score for the exam is a 75% score or higher. Now, if you didn't get a 75% score and you failed the exam, don't let it discourage you. I know so many people that failed the exam. In fact, I know many people that failed the exam multiple times, and they went on to be successful real estate agents. So don't think it has any correlation whether you're gonna be good or bad as an agent. It just simply means you have to study harder and give it another try. Now, if you pass the exam, well, it's time to celebrate because you're one step closer to getting your license. And that takes us to step number 4, which is getting your fingerprinting done and your background check. And this has to be done through a approved provider that's approved by the state of Nevada. Once that's done, it's time to submit your real estate license application. And in order to do this, you must apply through the Nevada Real Estate Division. And what we want to do at this step is we want to take everything we've done so far and package it up to send out with our license application. So we want to get our proof that we completed our 120 hours of state-approved pre-license education classes. We want to get proof that we passed the real estate exam with a 75% score or higher, and we want to get our completed background check and fingerprinting put it all together and send it out with your application. Okay, so step number 6 is picking your sponsoring broker. Now, this is one of the most important steps of the process because if you get this wrong, you might set yourself a really far ways back. So I want to give you some important questions to ask when picking your first brokerage. The very first question to ask is what kind of mentorship and training do you provide for brand new agents? Now, you're going to want to ask if you have access to a one-on-one mentor to ask questions to while you go through this process. Because if you're in the middle of a deal and you have nobody to support you or help you, things can get really frustrating really quickly. So make sure to ask this question and find out how often you can contact this mentor. Another important question to ask is if you have classes specifically for brand new agents, because the classes that experienced agents are taking might not help you get your business off the ground as a brand new agent. The next question to ask is how are you going to help me market and grow my business? One of the hardest parts about getting yourself started as an agent and why most agents fail is they just can't figure out how to get clients. They can't figure out how to get their business off the ground. So you want to ask this question ahead of time and find out how they're going to help you do that. Another important question to ask is if they have any teams within their office, if you're interested in getting real estate leads, because a lot of real estate teams offer real estate leads. So if that's something you're looking to do, make sure to ask that question ahead of time and see if it's something that you can apply for. And the last question to ask is what kind of monthly fees and commission splits do you offer? So the very first part of that question is the monthly fees. Some brokerages charge $0 per month and they have no fees, while other brokerages can charge hundreds of dollars per month and those fees hit your account whether you're selling or not. So as a new agent, these can become expensive really quick and they can drain your savings account before you really even get your business off the ground. So I highly suggest going to a brokerage that has no fees or low fees. Another thing to ask is what kind of commission splits do you offer? Now, this is not the most important thing because 100% of nothing is still nothing, and I would much rather see you go to a brokerage that's going to actually give you the support and training that you need to get your business off the ground. But one of the easiest ways to figure out what the commission split is after all the royalties and hidden fees is to say, if I sell a $10,000 commission, how much of that do I actually get to keep? And this will help you weed through all the noise and figure out what the actual commission split is. Okay, so now that you have the step-by-step guide, I want to go through some of the most common questions that I get asked because I'm sure you have some questions right now. The first one is, how much does it actually cost to get my Nevada real estate license? Well, on average, I estimate anywhere between $700 and $1,000. And it really depends on what classes you choose, what kind of real estate exam prep tools you decide to purchase, if any, and what brokerage you decide to start your career at. But I would budget anywhere between $700 and $1,000. And all in all, considering the upside this career has, it's a pretty low starting cost. The second question is, how long does it actually take to get your license? Well, in the state of Nevada, you have 120 hours of pre-license education classes you have to complete, which is pretty high. So I would estimate anywhere between 2 to 4 months. It might take a little bit longer, or it could take a little bit less, depending on how motivated you are and how disciplined you are to going through the classes. The third question I get is the exam actually hard? Well, the truth is the exam is hard, and many people fail it the first time around. But you don't have to. There are many exam prep tools that will put you through test-like simulations and help you build that confidence you need to pass the exam on test day. In fact, when I was going through this process and I was trying to pass my real estate exam, I remember reading through these long, boring textbooks and just saying, I'm never going to be able to remember this content. And I just felt so discouraged. And I needed something that was going to help me build the confidence I needed in a more interactive way. So that's when I found a exam prep tool. And I highly recommend you do the same. So if you want to check out an exam prep tool, I recommend you look at Compucram. There's an affiliate link down below where you can click it and check out their real estate exam prep tool, which will help you build that confidence you need to pass the exam on test day. The last question I get is, can I start this part-time? And the truth is you absolutely can. I know many people that have started part-time that have become very successful. And I know many people that started part-time that stay part-time and they love it and they love doing it part-time. So it's totally up to you, whatever you want to build. And that's the thing that I love about real estate is you can build the kind of business that you want to build, whether that's being a hyper successful top producer and earning a really big income, or it's someone that does it part-time and takes a couple clients out per year. It's totally up to you and what you want to build. So let me know what your questions are if I didn't answer them. Drop them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to get back to you ASAP. Also, if you like this video, make sure to smash that like button. It lets me know that you appreciated it. And also subscribe to the channel because I have more useful content all about getting licensed and starting your real estate career coming out soon. Thanks again for tuning in.